Under New York law, an employer may be vicariously liable for their employees' acts. And so now the question is, what are these people? Are they employees? At the time, place, and circumstances, they were highly connected to the employment of all of this. Saudi sent them to San Diego, funded him. By the time he started, he's traveling all over the place. Multiple mosques. He was employed. In actual practice, they had a history of employer-employee relationships with these two dudes. Okay, it was very much boss-employee. Turning to whether this tortious act is commonly done, the record is unclear as to where the money came from that was spent on behalf of the hijackers. Yeah, where did it come from? These individuals were Moya propagators, and they shared some similarities with the hijackers. And the last and most important factor clearly favors the plaintiffs as well. And so they have provided evidence that creates the overall impression that these two were not just accountants and imams. Their employment had some connection with assisting the hijackers. They were in direct communication with Saudis during their relevant activities, and they assisted and provided support to the hijackers. They acted within the scope of their employment as employees of Saudi Arabia. Because the factors applicable for the doctrine of vicarious liability, we have met the jurisdictional exceptions. And this is only about jurisdiction, okay? So we're going to allow this to proceed, but it's worth ultimately noting when the question of scope of employment comes in, the fact finder may reach different conclusions. We're just asking about jurisdiction. Now, although there is less evidence about their actions, it's about jurisdiction, and so we can just march forward there. Now, the court bases its above finding records on the evidence that we have reviewed and is uninfluenced by the parties' more generic and conclusory allegations that lack evidentiary support. For example, they say that they hosted a welcome party for the hijackers, but nothing in the video says that the hijackers were the focus of the party. It just looks like a party. Based on the short, infrequent appearances and the very brief introduction, it's overly conclusory. And so we're not, the judge, I am being fair and looking at it, here's why you're not 100%. But despite not giving weight to the overly conclusory statements, the court still finds that they offered sufficient evidence to substantiate their material allegations that these were Saudi employees. And ultimately, Saudi Arabia did not satisfy its burden. The court finds that their assertion is lacking. They say, well, no one in the Saudi government actually directed these people. They said, well, that's lacking in force. There's multiple pieces of circumstantial evidence that shows that they were coordinating with the Saudi government and providing assistance to the hijackers.